Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us once again tonight. We're Laura Dubin and Antonio Guerrero. It's been such a pleasure doing these quarantine concerts with you every night for the last week. It's been going on more than a week now. And we've got a delightful surprise for you tonight. We are going to have a special guest joining us. Our dear friend Dave Boyer is a wonderful caricature artist and photographer here in Rochester. And we met him at the Rochester Jazz Festival in 2016 when he actually drew our caricatures on the night that we performed. And we became great friends ever since then. And he actually designed the cover of our live album that we released that year, which is right in the middle here. And these are the two caricatures on both sides that he drew on the night that we met. So we're so excited to have Dave with us tonight. We're actually going to give him a call right now on FaceTime. Here we go. One more time. There he is. Hey, Dave. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Antonio.
Hey, hello, Dave.
It's so great to see you and have you here. This is so exciting, and it's the first time we've done anything like this together over the internet before.
Oh, I'm your first digital guest. I'm excited.
You are.
It's an
We're
honor.
honored to have you as the first one.
Oh, it's my honor.
So we'd love to have you talk a little bit about what you do, about your drawings, your photos, anything you'd like as a little intro here.
Well, I've been drawing since second grade, and I just think that everybody can do it, like eating, talking, walking, breathing, and all that kind of thing.
Nice.
And I just never stopped, and now I'm over 60. Oh my gosh.
You don't look like it.
But it's just kind of interesting. I am a degreed electrical engineer from RIT. Go Tigers!
Woo.
Yay! And you should have seen my circuit diagrams. They really kind of look beautiful. But anyway, I've never stopped drawing, and I've always added it. And when you and I met, then I got into caricature, and now I've been doing caricature for 30 years, and I think I've drawn about 62,000 people.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So they say that it takes like 10,000 hours to become a master at something, but it sounds like you're way beyond that. That's incredible.
Well, it's just like what you and your husband were saying. There are some things that we're good at, and we want to keep on doing it. And don't ask me to do calculus or do your taxes, but
That's
I
okay.
do like to draw, and I do like photography.
Wonderful. If I may, I'd like to show a couple of the pictures that you sent us here.
Oh, that would be
And
so
if you
nice.
want, you can feel free to talk about them. So that looks like you right there on the right.
Yeah, that's my new logo. That's my redo of the logo.
I love it. It's beautiful.
And kind of fun.
Yeah. Here's you again.
Yeah, and
Looks
there's
like
my
you're
persona. This solar-powered beanie hat. They won't let me into a caricature conference without me wearing it. So,
It's your
I said, "Well,
trademark."
room and get the beanie hat.
We love it.
Thank you.
Oops, I got a little bit pixely. Let's see. That's actually my dad there on the left. I'm gonna...
Oh yeah.
Oh, here. I know why it got pixely. I think because it's like a moving
that's
shot.
The CD. That's the CD.
Yeah, exactly. Right in the middle there. And then,
Well,
there's my dad on the
right.
left.
Well, I want to show your friends that it was an honor to do your third CD, I believe it was.
Yeah, that was our
And
third one.
The initial idea came from, I was at a picnic in Honeoye Falls. I want to say hello to my Rotarian friends in Honeoye Falls.
Ooh.
So I was at a picnic,
Yeah.
and I just drew this, and then I reviewed it with you and Antonio and
Oh my
said, gee, I
gosh.
kind of like it, let's go with it. And then I shifted it over to the iPad Pro. And you were so nice that you and Antonio gave me about 5 weeks to work on it, whereas
Woo!
some freelancers, unfortunately, have like 1 weekend. So I had a lot of time to kind of think about this.
Oh, we're glad it worked out for all of us.
You're a master working on the iPad. It's
Yeah.
just another technique, totally.
It must be totally different feeling than drawing with a pen. Was it kind of hard to adjust when you started drawing with the iPad, or did it feel kind of natural?
It felt good because I have done some computer work before, all the way back to an Amiga 1000. Your viewers may want to Google that.
I need to Google that.
Oh my gosh, the Amiga 1000.
Amigo?
But, I was very happy with the color reproduction. That what I saw on the screen was pretty faithful to the way the CD turned out, and I know the CD is doing well, and I love your CDs.
Ooh, yeah, we love colors, bright colors.
Yes. So I am enjoying all your CDs, and you're working on your 8th one, right?
We are, yeah. I know, I can't believe it's number 8 already.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Can't wait to enjoy that.
Thank you. So I think we'll maybe play a little music, but Dave is going to do some live drawings tonight in real time as we play. And we've done that several times at our live performances, especially when we've played at the Little Theater Cafe. Dave has come and sort of made our duo into a trio by adding his wonderful drawing skills to our jazz duo. So we're doing the virtual version of that tonight. So maybe we'll go ahead and play some music, but we'll definitely keep talking a little more as as the evening progresses.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, I'm gonna start working on your pet peacock.
Oh, let me show. So I'm not sure if Chris DeValder is watching again tonight, but if you are, this is a peacock that Dave just drew in your honor. That is so beautiful. And you just did that since we talked a few minutes ago, didn't you? I just had a couple of feathers 10 minutes ago when we did our test call.
Great.
That's amazing. It's
And
beautiful.
I actually have in my hand something called peacock blue.
Oh, how perfect.
It's actually named peacock blue, so we know we're right on the color.
Perfect. That is gorgeous.
I can't wait to hear you play.
Perfect. So the first tune we're going to play actually is on our Live at the Rochester Jazz Festival CD. We picked a couple tunes from that album on purpose since Dave did the artwork for the CD. And this is our arrangement of a Cole Porter tune called It's Da Lovely.
You wanna mute it?
Yeah. There you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. That's our first time all week that we've actually heard some applause. It's so wonderful.
Well, that's okay.
Thank you. Could you tell us a little bit about that character behind? Oh my gosh, that peacock is gorgeous. You just did all that while we were playing that one tune.
Well, your music really added
beautiful.
to the spirit of this. I mean, the jazz music works perfectly with caricature, which I think is the jazz of cartooning, really.
I would
So
have to
it's
agree with you,
perfectly
yeah.
compatible.
It's very improvisational. You know, there's a jazz tune. I wish I had thought of this before tonight, but there's a beautiful jazz tune called The Peacocks. We'll have to do this again and play that one, and you'll have to hold up your drawing again.
Oh wow, that would be great.
Yeah.
So this is my cartoon character Bippy, and it ran as a 4-panel comic strip in a handful of newspapers several years ago. So this gave me the chance to sort of explore newspaper cartooning, which was a lot of fun. I got to meet some of the greatest cartoonists that work in the newspaper field. Like I remember meeting Charles Schultz when he was alive.
Oh, what a dream.
I was so nervous meeting him, my jaw locked up. I couldn't talk.
I don't blame you.
I guess he's used to that.
The peanuts.
But a lot of it's interesting to make some very interesting friends, as I'm sure you and Antonio have within your field.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the cool thing about the arts, and it brings people of different mediums together, just like we're doing right now.
Exactly.
It's really
Oh,
cool.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And then it's interesting too that your interest really also helps other people get employed. Like I know in cartooning, if you really get going, you have people that are printers and layout artists, and you may create the work, but then somebody has to print the work and then deliver it and things like that.
There's always a whole team, yeah.
So some of these things now are multi-billion-dollar industries, really.
It's crazy to think about that.
Yeah. So thank you for giving people work.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, so it's
Just-
time for doing some promotion.
Yeah, so actually that's a good segue. Thank you for that. So there's a couple things I'd like to mention tonight. For one thing, if you're enjoying the music, please feel free to head over to lauradubin.com later on. There's a link right in the video here. And there are actually 3 ways that you can make a contribution now. We have a brand new thing on my website as of today. So you can either download all of our albums. We've got 7 CDs, as Dave mentioned earlier. 7 albums for you to choose from. And you'll find all this stuff on the same page.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Best plug ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go on over and download any of those albums. You can also make a one-time donation of any amount that you'd like. There are several suggested amounts that you can choose from, but you can also adjust any of them to your liking. And then just as of today, we've added a brand new exciting thing. You can become a monthly patron of lauradubin.com. There's a link right underneath the albums, right underneath the other donation area. And it'll take you through PayPal. It's a secure checkout, and it's actually a recurring monthly automatic payment that you can do. So it will securely store your credit card info and then just charge you automatically every month, so you don't have to worry about it. And there are, again, several amounts that you can choose from, and you can always cancel at any time with no penalty or anything like that. And I also just wanted to mention, I forgot to mention this the last couple nights. My website is a secure site. It doesn't store any of your credit card information or anything like that. However, if you do have any qualms about providing your credit card info over the internet, we do understand. If that's the case for you, but you still would like to make a donation, please send me a private message later on, and we'll talk about another option. And I'd also like to give a plug to Dave here, because I believe he's got a PayPal account set up. So you can also give him a donation. You can also talk to him about maybe having your own live caricatures done for events or through the internet, like we're doing now during this time. So if you want to hold up your info there for a second, Dave. And let me make
Sure. Well, let me show you my website. It's a Wix website, so it's a little bit long, and usually I send people a link to this. But it works on a smartphone and things like that.
Perfect.
And Laura and Antonio are right. We want to keep doing what we're doing. We can work virtually, which is our social distancing contribution, and again, it's very interesting. We want to keep going. So if you wanted to donate and keep me going, or maybe look at getting a caricature done, or something like that, I do have something set up with PayPal like that. And it's very, very, very simple. So these two little lines here represent maybe $10 or $20, whatever, and it just makes it really, really easy. So, but
That's so
thank you
great.
very, very, very much. And everybody in the whole world is kind of in the same boat. I also want to give a
Yeah.
shout out, konnichiwa, to my friends in Japan that I know
Oh
are
my
also
gosh.
watching. So,
Wow.
Konnichiwa.
Hi,
Yeah.
konnichiwa. Is that how you say hello?
Konnichiwa.
Thank you
yeah,
so much for watching.
thank you. Domo arigato gozaimasu for watching us. This is so
Domo
nice.
Domo
arigato.
arigato.
It's been one of our dreams to go to Japan someday. As soon as we're allowed to travel again, hopefully when we get to the other side of this pandemic, we would love to go to Japan and
Well,
hope to meet all of you in person.
They love their jazz. They completely love their jazz. They love television. They love cartooning, as you know.
It's
I
wonderful.
once visited a
Ooh.
6th grade class and I taught some cartooning. And this is what all the students, they sent me a little thank you note. And they all drew their own little cartoons,
Oh,
their own
sweet.
little drawings for me to say.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
I always see
wonderful.
this in my studio every day.
Beautiful.
That's so precious. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for spreading our music all the way to the other side of the world. We really can't thank you enough. And we're
Well,
so
thank you
delighted
for
to
caring.
meet some new friends, even just through Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll continue with some music here. This is another piece that was on our Live at the Jazz Festival album, although you can also hear another version of it on our album called Classical Jazz, which we released last year. And this is a piece by the French composer Maurice Ravel. It's called The Prelude from Les Tombeaux de Couperin. And it's got a bit of an Afro-Cuban kind of feel to it, which of course is not really how the original composition was written, but it's kind of how we made it our own. We hope you like it. One, two, three. That was the Prelude from Les Tombeaux de Couperin by the French composer Maurice Ravel. And we've got something kind of special prepared, Dave, for the next tune we're going to play. So we've been talking about Dave's caricature art. He's also an excellent photographer. And oh my gosh. Boy, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I really hope that Chris is watching tonight and seeing this beautiful, beautiful peacock. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you for the great idea. This is a great idea.
Oh, I love it. He looks happy too. It's got like a little smile on its face.
Well, it's a cartoon peacock, and it's listening to your music.
Aw, we're so honored. So I'd love to pull up. I've got some of your photos here, Dave, that you sent me, and Dave is just a wonderful photographer. I think particularly nature photographer.
She got some award about this picture.
Oh, that's right. So I would love for you to talk about this photo for a moment, because this is just one of the most breathtaking photos we've ever seen.
It's an icon of Rochester too.
Oh, which one is that?
Oh, can you see it? This is the moon over the Wings of Progress photo.
Oh, wow. Well, there is a story about that, in that is Rochester's Times Square building, which is probably one of my favorite buildings in all of Rochester, because it has a strong Art Deco design. And I want to give a shout out to Rich Calabrese Jr., who takes care of the building. Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Nice.
And it also influenced the Empire State Building that would be built a couple of years later.
I didn't know that.
Building, the Wings of Progress and the Times Square building was built during the start of the Depression, October 1929.
Oh, wow.
And they just wanted things to be hopeful for Rochester, which is the same situation we're in right now.
Yeah, almost 100 years later. Isn't that weird?
Now, the day before I took that picture, I was coming out of Rochester Art Supply on West Main Street, getting good supplies, and I saw the moon in a certain position, and I said, I think tomorrow it's going to be over there. And Cindy, my wife Cindy, and I went out to near Washington Street, and then there it was, and I just brought my camera and positioned myself a little bit.
Wow, that was amazing foresight that you had, knowing that the moon was going to be right there the next day.
Well, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to the moon. Really everybody has their interests and stuff, and I like to say I'm good friends with the moon. I really do.
So I've got a couple of your other moon photos right here.
Oh, nice.
It's just gorgeous. And you've got beautiful landscape photos here too. That's Rochester. Now, this is probably going to sound like a silly question, but I'm not a photographer, so I don't know. How do you get such a close-up, detailed shot of the moon like that?
Well, you have to be a little bit fussy about all your equipment, Laura. It's a good question. I actually went to New York City to buy the lens.
Wow.
I use a Sigma lens, and I went to New York City to buy the lens. I should have done it by mail, but oh well. A cheap excuse to see the big apple.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
But you're careful about your equipment, and then you just kind of know what exposure to use. And I've worked with this for a while.
Yeah.
And then keep your computer equipment in good shape too, because then you have to process all those pixels.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'd like to play a tune now while your beautiful moon photos play in the background, and this is called "It's Only a Paper Moon."
Wow. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the Japanese character, and it's also the Chinese character for Moon, and then do beautiful. A cartoon Moon, and everything's going to be happy.
Wonderful. And then after this tune, we'll take a look at it. We'll put you back on the screen again.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is "It's Only a Paper Moon." That was a classic jazz tune called It's Only a Paper Moon. I'm gonna get, oh, that is the most precious moon ever.
Well, and you know what?
Is it my
It's
call?
paper.
Yeah.
It's paper. I took you literally.
Exactly. Oh, perfect. I love it.
The other thing that's interesting about the Japanese and Chinese cultures, and I think the symbol is true for even Korean, is that their symbol for moon reflects some curves. So it's like this. So
It's
So
beautiful.
it has curves. It has curves in it.
I love it. So that's how you write the word moon?
Yeah,
Okay.
that symbolizes moon in the Japanese and Chinese and Korean culture, I believe.
I love it. It's the most beautiful writing style. I'd love to learn how someday. I'll write like that.
Yeah, me too.
It's a real art. Maybe our new friends can teach us. We would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to my artist friend, Etsuko-san, hello. And all my friends in the Tokyo Stereo 3D Club, you guys are the best.
Ooh, how
So
cool.
yeah, I've still got my stereo camera going.
Yes,
Wow.
that is awesome. Real cameras are still where it's at.
True.
I love it.
Dang.
Yeah.
So what else can we do tonight?
All right, well, we're going to play another tune from our Jazz Festival album. Kind of had like a little theme of Jazz Fest album music going on because you did the artwork for that album. So this one is dedicated to a pianist who's been a big influence on me over the years. His name is Wynton Kelly. And I'm sure many of you in the audience have heard the album Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. It's one of the most classic albums ever. In fact, I think it might still be to this day the best-selling jazz album of all time. And it was released in 1959. And most of the tunes, the pianist on most of the tunes on that album was Bill Evans, another hero of mine. But there's one track on that album called Freddie Freeloader. It's the second tune on the album. And Wynton Kelly was the pianist on just that tune. And the piano solo that he did on that tune is like one of my favorite piano solos ever. It was also one of the first kind of jazz improvisations that I learned, that I kind of like heard and sort of remembered what he played after listening to it a lot. And if you go back and listen to that tune again, if you've got the album at home, you'll notice how all the phrases that Wynton Kelly plays are just so singable and so swinging and so joyful. It almost sounds like he was playing the piano with words. Like that's how kind of singable and memorable the melodies that he played are. They just sort of like have this pop to them. So that was my introduction to Wynton Kelly. And of course, he had many of his own albums as well. He had his own working trio for many years. And he's just been a huge influence on me. So I wanted to dedicate a tune to him that's kind of in his style. And this is called Kelly Green. that was an original composition of mine called Kelly Green, dedicated to the pianist Wynton Kelly. And is that who you're drawing right there?
Is that
Wynton Kelly? Absolutely. He just looks so cool, and I just always imagine him being like the coolest guy because that's what his playing sounds like.
Yeah.
I think he would be very honored to see that.
Very, very inspired.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. He looks like so peaceful, just doing his swinging piano playing. I love it. So now everybody out in the audience kind of gets a taste of how Dave does these caricature drawings. And look, you just almost completed that in the time it took us to play that tune. It's kind of incredible. It would take me so long to draw that. And it wouldn't look anything like that.
You're very kind to say that. I love your music that you and Antonio are doing.
Thank you so much. We're having so much fun. So much fun. So we'd like to display some of your photos again on the next piece. And I've been wanting to play this piece ever since last week because we just recently had the first day of spring. A few nights ago, actually on the first day of spring, we played a tune called It Might As Well Be Spring. And I had been wanting to play this one too, and we're going to do it tonight. This is what I believe to be one of the most beautiful songs ever written. And I would actually like to read the lyrics of the song before we even play it. It's called You Must Believe in Spring. It was composed by Michel Legrand, and the English lyrics were written by the songwriting team, Marilyn and Alan Bergman, who were also husband and wife. And they did a lot of collaborations with Michel Legrand, pieces that they wrote for movies and pieces that just became classic tunes over the years and decades. And I think the combination of their lyrics with his music just somehow gets to your heart. There's a quality to their music that just makes you want to cry, but not in a bad way, in like a very just like emotional way.
Deep.
Yeah, very deep, exactly. So when I was taking lessons in college with my professor, Dr. Steve Zagree, and also studying sometimes with Fred Hirsch when he came to visit, both of them always emphasized the fact that when you're learning an instrumental piece of music, it's still really important to learn the lyrics, because that really helps you just internalize the melody and the meaning of the song, and it makes you play it differently. It makes you interpret it in a different way than if you didn't know the words. There's actually a famous story about the saxophonist, I think it was Lester Young, who was at a recording session once, and apparently he stopped in the middle of the tune, and the record producer said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "I forgot the words." He was playing the saxophone, so I always love that story. So this is just one of those songs that the lyrics just really grabbed my heart, and I think the lyrics are really appropriate for right now, not just because we're coming into spring, but just with everything that's going on in the world right now. You know, sometimes it can feel kind of dark. It's been a really stressful time for everybody with this pandemic going on and so much uncertainty. And I just think these lyrics just have such a beautiful message of hope. So I'd like to read them before we actually play the song here. I saved them on my phone earlier today. I kind of know them without reading, but it's easier for me to do it this way. So this is You Must Believe in Spring. When lonely feelings chill the meadows of your mind, just think if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Beneath the deepest snows, the secret of a rose is merely that it knows you must believe in spring. Just as a tree is sure its leaves will reappear, it knows its emptiness is just a time of year. The frozen mountains' dreams of April's melting streams, how crystal clear it seems, you must believe in spring. You must believe in love and trust it's on its way. It's on its way. Just as a sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May, so in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what you think you know you can't be certain of, you must believe in spring and love. I just think those are the most beautiful song lyrics, and it's just such a beautiful poem on its own. So Dave sent us some beautiful photos that he took of some flowers, and I thought they'd be perfect to play as a slideshow while we perform this song. So I'm going to grab them here. And without further ado, here's You Must Believe in Spring. that was called You Must Believe in Spring by the great composer Michel Legrand. And it's just such a hopeful piece of music for right now, just because it's not just because it's springtime now, but because we really need it. Was that some clapping there? Thank you for that. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much.
Say hello to Cindy and all her team.
Yes, and thank you to both of you for hosting this watch party tonight and last night. We really appreciate you sharing our music with a new audience, and it's nice to meet all of you, even though it's only through Facebook. Hopefully someday we can all meet in real life once we're out on the other side of this thing we're living through right now. What a beautiful picture you just drew. I love it. You must believe in spring and love.
I thought we needed a happy spring picture.
I think so
We
too.
have some butterflies here.
Yeah.
We have a flowered family over here.
Oh.
And if anybody's inspired to not only listen to your music tonight, but also doodle a little bit, go ahead and just, grab a little package of crayons.
Yes.
There's no wrong tonight. It's all good. It's all positive. So do some doodles, maybe take pictures of what you doodle and send them to Laura and Antonio.
Yes, please.
That's a great idea.
See what you come up with.
That's a wonderful idea. And if you want to even leave them in the comments on this video so Dave can also see them, this video will still be here forever, even after the live stream has ended. So feel free to share it with your friends.
And then they can visit Laura Dubin.
Exactly, yeah. So yes, before we play our last tune, I will just quickly and briefly mention all this again.
Seeing the other videos too, not just for...
Exactly. That's right. So all of our Facebook videos are live videos that we've been doing every night since last week. They're all still here on my Facebook page, on my personal page, as well as my Facebook music page, Laura Dubin Jazz. If you haven't liked that page yet, please go ahead and do that. And then you'll be notified every time we do a new live video. And for anyone who's not on Facebook, we are also loading them all to YouTube every night, just so for those of you who aren't on Facebook, or if you know anybody who doesn't like to use Facebook, you can send them the YouTube link instead. You don't actually have to have a Facebook account to watch these on here, but I know some people might be a little skeptical of it if they don't use Facebook. So there's other ways they can watch these. They're also all being embedded on my website on the videos page, so you can see them there as well. And if you're enjoying the music tonight, we just want to, first of all, thank you all so much for listening. It's been such a pleasure to share our music with you and to collaborate with Dave tonight. This has been so much fun. We really appreciate everybody who's tuned in since last week. And we thank you for watching and listening and for sharing these videos with your own friends. It just means the world to us to have your support. And we'd also like to say a thank you to everybody who's made a donation so far this week or ordered our albums. We really appreciate your support during this time. So if you haven't done that yet and you would like to make a little financial contribution for our music, you can go on over to lauradubin.com right after this video ends. There's a link right in this video near the top of the screen. And you can either download our albums, you can make a one-time donation of any amount that you choose, or now you can actually become a monthly patron of Laura Dubin Jazz. There's a link that will direct you to a secure PayPal site right on the bottom of the page. And you can sign up to make a monthly contribution. There are several amounts that you can choose from. And then it will securely store your credit card information and then just automatically charge you every month so that you don't have to think about that. And you can always opt out at any time if further down the road you choose to do so. If you are unable to make a donation at this time, we still appreciate you watching. I know this is kind of a hard time for all of us as we're adjusting to this kind of new normal. And so if it's kind of a hard time for you to make a financial contribution, we still really appreciate the fact that you're here with us, listening to our music and watching our videos. And I'm going to turn my computer sound back on because I think Dave would probably like to mention his own website again. Oh, and I see he's got all our CDs there too.
Oh, I do, and I do enjoy them. And you and Antonio create such treasures for us to enjoy. So
thank you so much.
I do as well want to thank everybody, all my global friends for sharing Laura's and Antonio's music, and please check them out. And if you do want to help me a little bit, this is the easiest way that I have in terms of PayPal.
Here, let me make sure.
And if you're also interested in perhaps a caricature of me, for me to do for you, I can do something like that. These last two lines here just represent what amount you want to donate. What amount you want to donate, like, $10 or $20. And we can talk about that later. Just leave me a private message on Facebook.
Perfect. And if Antonio wants to hold that up one more time,
Yeah.
we've got a beautiful framed copy of your artwork right here.
Is me there?
Oh, there we go. Yep, you got it. So that is the official album cover that Dave designed for us. I just love it so much. It makes me so happy every time that
There's
I see
Rochester
it.
in the background.
Yeah.
It's
And actually, there's-
I love the opportunity, and it's all good. It
Yeah.
just
Got it
grows
too.
and grows from here.
Thank you. And there's the Wings of Progress building that you mentioned earlier on the left there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called it's called the Times Square building.
Oh, that's right.
The wings of Progress are the tower up above.
Ah, I see. Very cool. Yeah. All right, well, we got one more piece of music to play for you tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. And after we finish this tune, we're still going to stick around for a couple minutes to say hello to you all. If any of you have questions for Dave or for us, or you just like to leave a comment and say hello, let us know where you're listening from. We always appreciate that, and we're excited to know how far that our music travels. We're really excited that it's all the way in Japan tonight. It's really exciting. The internet is such a powerful thing. So we'd like to finish off with a piece that we just have so much fun playing. This was made famous by the Duke Ellington Orchestra, but it was actually composed by Juan Teasel. This is called Caravan, and this arrangement is our own arrangement in 7/4. thank you so much for being with us tonight. Oh my gosh, look at that. Thank you. So that was our last tune of the evening, but we'd like to just hang out with you all for a while. Thank you so much. It's so nice. It's really nice to have applause because, you know, we've been...
the teal of the color of the drums and the piano.
Is that teal? Of course it's teal. And that's actually the color of Antonio's drums. Like, if you can maybe tell in the camera.
All the time.
Exactly.
All the time.
I'm going to step out of the camera for 1 second because I sneezed in the middle of that song. I must be allergic to Caravan. I'm going to blow my nose for a sec. And then I'll come right back. Everybody can hear that. There we go. So I'd just like to take a couple minutes. I saw a lot of comments popping up as we were playing, so I'd love to say hello to all of you. And I'm sure Dave would as well. So let's see. Ooh, we got a lot of shares tonight. I saw the view count was very high tonight. I think that was thanks to you, Dave and Cindy. Thank you. Aw! Hey, Lisa, if Lisa's watching again. Yeah, Maggie is watching tonight. They have a beautiful dog named Maggie who's apparently enjoying the video tonight. That's so sweet. We need to have like a doggy play date with Maggie and my sister's dog, Achilles. That would be so much fun if they met each other sometime. Just scrolling through here. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of comments. So I'd love to say hello to all of you. Let's see. Perfect. Is this Takashi? Did I pronounce your name right? Takashi, nice to meet you through Facebook, and thank you so much for listening.
He's part of one of my 3D photography friends.
Oh, how cool.
One of the best in the world.
So when you say 3D photography, is that related to 3D printing somehow, or is this a totally different thing?
No, it relates to depth. Looking at a photo, you get a sense of depth.
Okay, very cool.
Do you need special glasses to see the pictures or not?
Yeah, sometimes you do, and depends on the technology, but it's kind of like the Viewmasters. Remember the Viewmasters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Cool. Hey, Linda, thank you so much for watching again. So great to see you again. Hey, Donna, thank you for being here again.
Hey,
I'm not sure if any of all these people are still watching because it looks like these were some of the first comments, but if you are, then it's so great to see you again. Hey, Chris. Oh, I don't know if Chris DeValder. I don't know if you saw the beginning of this live stream, but Dave, if you want to hold your peacock up again, I think Chris is here. Chris DeValder. It's a wonderful trombonist friend of ours. So I'm not sure if you're watching, Chris, but Dave drew this peacock because we were talking about your peacock last night, and it is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love like you got the color like and the blending of the blues and greens is gorgeous.
I think your music helped. I think it helped a lot.
Hey, Dad! Oh, Dave drew a really awesome caricature of my dad. I'm going to pull it up here. And Dad said, he heard it, yeah, good ear. He said, I heard you sneak a little sweet Georgia Brown into Caravan. Yes, I did! So it's kind of funny. Actually, the bridge of those two tunes are a little bit similar, so I like to, when we're playing one tune, I always like to quote the other one.
Nice, good ear.
Just to see if people like Dad are listening, and he is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's got great ears. I'm looking for this picture. Oh, here it is, I think. Let's see. Oops. Here's my dad. Yay! Oops. What happened here? What is this? I was trying to select the photo, but yep, there is my dad. And another one of my dad. Woo! Super cool.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. Oh, it looks like Bob heard it too. He said, thought that was what I heard. There's a basketball for the Harlem Globetrotters, right? I love it. Hey, great to see you, Bob and Sue. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm going to get Dave's picture back up here. Let's see. Just going to make you a little larger. Linda Marsters? Heard something.
She wanted to see the moon closer, the moon drawing.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
I love it.
We'll be glad to do that.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
He's so peaceful looking.
It's a very happy moon.
Yeah. Man on the moon. Yeah. Well, this was really cool doing this collaboration with you, Dave, and it's really excited that this thing works.
Yeah, the interaction of everything is just
I feel kind of like we have our own little news station, like, because when we watch the news at night, they always show people kind of like talking to each other remotely. I kind of feel like we got that kind of setup going on.
A lot of other creatives, so thank you for letting me be the first digital guest.
Oh, our pleasure. I don't think it'll be the last time either.
And we can't wait to see who else you invite.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spreading the word and for sharing your beautiful artwork and photos with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. You're very kind.
Yeah.
I like the Schroeder tribute.
The Schroeder tribute?
What was that? Oh, when
the Schroeder tribute with Beethoven on the piano.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. So this is actually, I'm not sure if he's in the screen right now. This is the Beethoven statue that's on the cover of our classical jazz album. This is the statue from my grandpa. And, of course, on that cover, he's got some cool sunglasses on, kind of the jazz.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yay! He's a real live statue. Yeah. It's nice to have Beethoven over my shoulder when I'm practicing, you know, looking over. No pressure or anything. Yeah. So we've got on the wall behind Antonio, but I took a picture of these pictures today because it's kind of hard to see it in the camera, but they're the 2 caricatures that you drew of us when we first met, and then our album cover in the middle.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
That was a crowded hotel. I remember.
Oh yes.
That was at the Holiday Inn, wasn't it?
I think so. That was the very last night of the Jazz Festival because that year, 2016, that was the first year that we played at that festival, and we performed on the last night of the festival, which that was kind of fun. But there was a lot of pressure building because it was oh my gosh, it's the last night. But it was so much fun.
I remember it was so packed that evening. I mean,
yeah.
At the Holiday Inn downtown on State Street, and so it was just so packed, but it was great.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It was really meant to be, and yeah, I think especially on the last night, nobody wants the Jazz Fest to end. So I feel especially that night, it must have been really people gathering to share their love of jazz and just continue being together, and I just have great memories of that night.
Well, it's funny because the same way that you and Antonio are friends with Cindy and I'm also very good friends with the serving staff there to this day.
Oh, that's great.
We're rooting for you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. All right. Well, let's see. Did I miss anybody here? Just want to make sure. Happy looking moon. Yeah. Linda says you were such a great artist. To you, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Looks like we got everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in once again. We're Laura Dubin, Antonio Guerrero, and Dave Boyer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be doing this around the same time tomorrow night between 8 and 9 p.m., so we hope you will stay tuned. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Bye-bye. Bye, Dave. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.